welcome to my review of J.R. Writer, The Return of Greatness. J.R. Writer impressed me by bringing some good energy to 40 Cal's track Ignorant and Vado's full clip. And then I just browse the internet, see that he's dropping a new mixtape. Guess what? I downloaded it and listened to it. J.R. Writer was one of the members, or less known members of Dipset. The leaders were Cameron, Juelz Santana, and Jim Jones. Dipset has not really stood the test of time or held up at all, at least in my opinion. I'm open for discussion on this point, but I cannot really hear anything they do anymore. G-Unit, I still occasionally hear them referenced, or 50 Song. DMX of the Rough Riders, they still get mad love for their early stuff from the blogosphere. And let's not even go to the Wu-Tang, which is legendary in its own sense and even an unfair comparison, even though they started 10 years before. Just last year, Czarface and Ghost new album alone. But Dipset just really fade into irrelevance. Do you remember? Killa Cam just dropped a mixtape less than 6 months ago. Still remember that stuff? I didn't think so. Unfortunately, a tape like this will not help either. JR sounds old. He preaches the old school values. Being hard, rhyming right, being real. He does this in punchline form, which is hit or miss. Unfortunately, more of the latter. Key to Life, where J.R. Writer tells us where he stands within hip-hop, out of his own view, and how he came up. This is one of the high points of the mixtapes, as well as Real Ones, which has the classic J sample, and just soulful as fuck. That's why it's on here, and that's why I'd call it a high point. And overall, there's just a lack of soulfulness here, especially in the production. He got some really soulful, nice, sped up Heatmaker's production in the early 2000s. This sound is gone. The soul is missing here. And instead of this, now we get fast beats, and they have full of tension, but there's no release in here. You just feel like it's going boom, 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 like a C-type banger, something like that. There's no time for the beat to breathe. And then you have JR. He just sounds like a dinosaur over here. His beat and his flow have not changed a bit since his diplomatic immunity days. Even with soul samples, these soul samples are in the chorus, and the feeling does not translate into the verses at all. The whole balance is just off. There's no clash between the soul and hard. It's just hard and not very good. Occasionally he even misses the beat because the beats are just too fast and unmelodic for him. And he just sounds like a dinosaur up to here. His style is not up to date. His flow is not up to date. And when he chooses a new element, like autotune or jittering hi-hats, it just makes him sound worse. And there's some older rappers that can manage to keep up with the current stuff, but I'm sorry to say, J.R. Writer just isn't that. Wouldn't surprise me if we wouldn't know who he is in like 3 years. 2 out of 5.